जय श्री राधे। सब वैष्णवों को जय श्री कृष्णा। Shri Gosai Ji ki jai ho. Day 183 of our readings and Varta number 167, the untouchable from Govardhan. Beginning with part 1. The untouchable boy lived in Govardhan. He was Shri Gosai Ji's disciple. The boy was very attached to Srinath Ji and could not pass a single day without seeing him. Shri Govardhan Nath Ji would even leave the temple so that the boy would be able to see him. One day Shri Gosai Ji saw Srinath Ji standing with the boy and chatting with him. Afterwards Shri Gosai Ji asked of the boy, "What does Srinath Ji talk to you about?" The boy replied, "By your grace I get to see Shri Govardhan Nath Ji every day. He tells me all about his play, his cows, his cowherd friends, and that day's pastimes. O Maharaj, with your grace I cannot pass a single day without seeing my beloved Lord. And if such a day comes when I do not see him, on that day I neither eat nor drink. I remain hungry. That is my daily routine. The next day Shri Govardhan Nath Ji most certainly comes and lets me see him. Then only do I eat." Shri Gosai Ji then addressed him, "When I call out for the Lord's flower garland at lunchtime, then come and sit by the door to the temple. I shall make sure you have the Lord's holy sight before anyone else." Then he told the Japatiya, or the temple attendant who moves the devotees along by hitting them with a cloth, "Make sure that you always let this boy have the Lord's holy sight before anyone else." The Japatiya said that he would, and from then on he blessed the boy in this way. So the boy went up to Srinath Ji's temple up on Shri Giriraji every day and had the Lord's holy sight at the time when he had just been garlanded. He would bathe and put on clean and pure clothes and then sit in front of the door at a short distance. The Japatiya would then summon him in and let him see his Lord. The boy did this every single day. Many days passed. Then one day he got caught up in some work, and by the wish of the Lord he arrived late and the door was already locked. No other Vaishnavas were there. He went to the back door of the temple and lay down. He suffered the grief of separation, and this turned into a fever, and he was in a very bad condition. Shri Govardhan Nath Ji got up from his throne and made a hole in the back wall of the temple, through which he called out to the boy. When the boy heard his voice, he jumped up and looked through the hole. In this way, that day, he had the Lord's holy sight. Srinath Ji then passed him 2 sweet balls through the hole and told him to eat them. He said, "Look, these are my prasadi laddus, please eat." The boy ate one of them. He tied the other one up in his shawl and took it home. Soon it was time for Shri Govardhan Nath Ji's afternoon utap and seva. The conch shell was sounded. Srinath Ji's priest and cook went up to the temple. There they noticed the hole that had been made. They were all very worried. They checked all of the Lord's things and found that they were just as they had been left. The cook went and told Shri Gosai Ji, "O Maharaj Adiraj, today someone made a big hole in the back wall of the temple." Shri Gosai Ji felt very bad about this. The boy heard of this and went to the door of Shri Gosai Ji's Baitak and said, "O Maharaj, please tell everyone else to go away and I shall tell you something." Shri Gosai Ji did so and asked him what it was. He recounted, "O Maharaj, why are you so sad today?" Shri Gosai Ji told him, "Today someone made a hole in the back wall of Srinath Ji's quarters in the temple. That is why I am sad." The boy piped up, "O Maharaj Adiraj, why are you so sad about this? Do you not know your lad's nature? Today I had to go to Govardhan for some work. When I came back, the gate was locked. I went and sat lamenting by the back wall. I felt terrible without Shri Govardhan Nath Ji's holy sight, and at that very moment Srinath Ji broke this hole in the wall using his cane. He then called me by name. I was surprised and quickly sat up. I realized that Srinath Ji was calling me. He told me to come and see him. I did. Srinath Ji then told me to accept 2 laddus from his hand. I did eat one. The other one is tied up in my shawl. He again piped up, "O Maharaj, there is no need for you to be sad about this." Shri Gosai Ji now felt better and said to the gatekeeper and the Japatiya, "Never let this boy go without having the Lord's holy sight. Whenever he comes here, let him see the Lord, even if he comes 8 times a day, and that too before anyone else." The next day they called a builder to close up the hole. Shri Govardhan Nath Ji, however, told him not to. Let it be as it is. They did exactly so. To this very day the hole is still there. Bhav Prakash. The moral of this story is that rules regarding caste restrictions and other regulations do not apply to one in whom loving devotion has arisen. Such loving devotion appears when a soul has perfect faith in Sri Gosaiji. Vaishnavas should always have firm faith in Sri Gosaiji. Thus concludes Varta 167, the story of an untouchable boy who was the recipient of Sri Gosaiji's great grace. He developed perfect loving devotion through the grace-filled glance of Sri Gosaiji, who therefore did not impose any restrictions upon him. There is no end to his story. So, आज के आनंद की जय हो हुआ सब वैष्णवों को जय श्री कृष्ण सप्रेम सादर सनम्र सादर जय श्री कृष्ण जय श्री राधे. From today, for 2 days, there will not be a Varta reading. So on the 3rd day, we will continue into day 184 of the readings and Varta 168. So please excuse us. There will be 2 days due to a Leela festival in Govardhan. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.